everyone, Kimberly from Reclaimers of Health. Just wanted to check in with everyone, see how everyone is holding up, how everyone is doing, how everyone's anxiety is doing these days with everything going on. And I wanted to talk specifically about food and food delivery and obtaining food and fresh food and fruits and vegetables and how to clean it all and how to keep your family safe. So I'm going to go through some things that we've been doing here in our house and, you know, in the hopes that some of it may help some of you. We've had a ton of questions, you know, people wondering if they should even be eating fresh foods right now, worrying about people touching their groceries, people touching their packages, worried about getting sick from things coming from Amazon or various other grocery delivery services. So I'm going to address some of that and talk to you about how we are handling all of this in hopes that it helps some of you. All right, so number one, we are doing Instacart delivery, which means a shopper goes into the grocery store, local grocery store, gets everything that we need, and they bring it right to the door. Instacart is not available everywhere, so that's not the solution for everyone, but most grocery stores do some kind of delivery or pickup service. So that is number one, to protect yourself. If that is available in your area, that would be number one. Most of these services do have free delivery. It is just a tip. You just tip the person for doing it. And even with that delivery, so they come to the front door, the groceries are laid out. Most of the time, if it's not during a pandemic or something like that, you would go to the door, pay the person, and all of that. It's all being done electronic right now. So you literally go on the app, you select your groceries, they bring it to your door. So that being said, after that stuff is brought to the door, we are actually staying inside. We put a note on there that we're physical distancing. Please leave on the front porch. So we tip them and everything right through the app. The groceries are left outside as long as possible. If there are frozen foods in there and it's not cold outside, then you have to address it quicker. If it's just some fresh things as well as some box things, then you're okay to leave it out there as long as possible. The longer you can leave it outside, the better, because obviously anyone touching your foods, anyone coughing, sneezing, any of that in the store, obviously it can be a way of transmitting things. So we leave everything out on the front porch as long as possible. When it's time to come into the house, my husband or myself will put gloves on. We take the bags, we bring them in through the garage. We have a table set up. On that table, we will take the foods that have been with us for more than 3 days and we put them into the outside refrigerator. Again, if these are things that have to be frozen or refrigerated, you have to do the best you can. You take a Sani wipe, you take some peroxide soap water, and you're wiping the bag of things. I know this seems excessive and ridiculous. I'm not the first person suggesting all of this. There's a lot of medical doctors out there talking about transmission via foods, and I'm not trying to freak anyone out, but we know even from Anthony in the viral book, he is suggesting that packages and things like that. So I just wanted to talk a little more specific about what we're doing. So the Instacart stuff comes through the garage with gloves on, goes onto a table, and it stays there for 3 days, unless it is something, again, that has to go into the freezer or the refrigerator. At that point, it's wiped off with a Sani wipe, with gloves on, it's put away, and the gloves are thrown out. Now, after 3 days, sometimes more, sometimes 5 days, we'll take that stuff and bring it into the inside refrigerator. Not everyone has that resource, but you can use coolers. You can, depending where you are, you can leave things outside if it's cooler where you are, just to, you know, not touch and handle the things that have just come in through the service, with people handling, coughing, sneezing, all of those things. So we're doing that. It's just a system where the food is dropped off, gloves on, into the garage, stays for 3 days. Then each item is wiped off into the outside fridge. The fresh foods, fresh fruits and vegetables. We are not doing our haul in Philadelphia right now, for that reason. First of all, Pennsylvania is dealing with their own mess of cases. So we are just not feeling comfortable crossing, you know, state lines right now. Of course, you know, fruits and vegetables in the grocery store are handled as well, but it's just our personal preference to go direct and have it delivered at this point. So the fresh fruits and vegetables that are coming in, we are putting them in a big bucket or into the sink with water. We are using either 7th Generation or Branch Basics or one of those, because remember, soap and water will remove viral debris from anything. So we're doing that. Depending what it is, I might do a 1/4 cup of peroxide into the mix. So peroxide, soap, water, warm water. Again, agitate each item for 20 seconds, put it into the refrigerator. So that will take care of anything. So those of you that are afraid of, with juicing, with apples, with celery, even the outside of melons, bananas, lemons, avocados, all of those things really should be washed in at least warm soapy water, okay, before you're putting them into the fridge. Make sure when you're done, you spray your counter down and you wipe it. Again, I know this sounds insane, but we've learned about this virus that it can be left on cardboard, it can be left on plastics, it can be left on metals. And again, when food is in the store, people can touch it, cough, sneeze, all of that. So that's what we're doing. If you're going into the grocery store, make sure you are not only wiping the handle on your cart, but you're wiping the entire cart. Because remember, you get a bunch of apples, you bag them up, you put them into the cart. That part of the cart may be contaminated. So you want to make sure that you're wiping your entire cart. Again, make sure if you are wearing gloves, you're not wearing them into the store, driving home with them, coming home and contaminating everything into your house. So taking the gloves off, how you grab the inside of the glove and flip it. Make sure you're doing that all correctly. If you don't know how to do it, hop on YouTube. What else did I want to say? The 3-day rotation, wiping each item. We know now that, this virus can live on things for 3 days. They're saying that it can live on shoes for up to 5 days, which sounds like insanity. But again, if you go into a grocery store, make sure that you're changing your clothes. So come in, go straight to the shower. If you're running out for food, if you're coming into any contact with anyone, and it's not just people, it's things. So just make sure that you are showering, putting your clothes right in hot water. I talked about the produce. I talked about the wash, talked about the peroxide. And again, delivery or pickup is really your best bet right now, wearing gloves, when you're touching those things. So I just wanted to speak to all of that. Yes, we are still eating fresh fruits and vegetables. I really do feel that that's the best way to keep our immune systems in a good place. We all know that these foods are literally medicine. So to stop eating them would be a disservice. We can still get fresh things. People are stocking up on frozen pizzas and things like that. They're not touching a lot of the fresh stuff. There definitely are things that I can't get though. I will be honest. It's not my normal crazy produce hauls where I have, tons of everything. I've had to learn how to do everything on a smaller scale. And like I've said in previous videos about this, this is a calling. This whole situation is a calling to, really learn different ways and new ways to adapt and to grow and to, manage things. So yes, there's been a lot of change. This is definitely a call to change. So we are doing things on a smaller scale. We've had to get creative. We don't have all of the things that we normally have on a daily basis. There's days that I go without things. I went a couple days where I didn't have lemons, you do the best you can. If you don't have lemons, use a lime. If you don't have limes, use an orange. You get it. This is not a time to be hard on yourself or perfect. It is a time to be flexible. It is a time to bring all the healing foods in that you can and do the best you can. We're still juicing and we're still making our smoothies. Greens, that's the other thing. You can wash greens the same way you wash anything else. So you can wash them, dry them, stick them in your smoothies, make soups, all of those things. So I hope this was helpful. I know that there's a lot of anxiety out there, people being afraid to eat the fresh fruits and vegetables, but honestly, if you are obtaining it correctly and you are cleaning it correctly, you are good to go, and you are definitely giving your body what it needs to withstand this situation. So I hope everyone is doing okay. Again, this too shall pass. We will get through this together as a community, and I am here. If I can do anything for you, let me know in comments.